All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:32. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, motion to accept the consent agenda, please.
So moved.
Second. All right. Any discussion? The only thing that, there's one thing I wanted to say. I wanted to mention in here, because it's not mentioned later, but the new hire position, the teacher K to alternative classroom, changing positions, like she's moving from one to the other. That is possible due to a great partnership with VTSU in allowing our IAs, our instructional assistants, to take classes and get their teaching degree. So that's a really good partnership that we have that kind of allows these things to happen. And I just wanted to mention that because I think that's a great opportunity within ourselves to move our teachers and our staff as they want to move to different positions. All right, yes.
I would just like to acknowledge also the resignation and departure of Krista Glover, who's been an employee for us for the last several years, and certainly appreciate her work here in the district and wish her well.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Yeah, Lisa Valley.
And Lisa Valley too, there's another resignation, first grade
Absolutely.
teacher at Orwell Village School. So thank you very much.
That's effective June.
And the end of the year. Yeah. So great, thank you. All right, if no more discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Come on, connect to the end. All right, public comment, number 1. Man. I'm running for school board. There's other casting voters that want to that would be helpful. All right, every 3 years. All right, no public comment anywhere? Not online? Not in the public? All right, Act 73 discussion. Anybody know anything more than I know from reading BT Digger? No. So it looks like it's somewhat stalled, but at the same time, they're still talking about it, but not in the same way. That's what I kind of took away from
I
it.
would expect that there is something that comes out of this legislative session with consolidation and education finance. There is testimony tomorrow in House Education and Senate Ed around Act 73 specifically. I know there's testimony Wednesday in education finance reform to committees as well. So if anybody watched the governor's State of the State address, definitely I would expect something coming out of this legislative session to be happening.
But stay tuned, because we don't know what it's going to be.
Stay tuned for sure. We don't know what it's going to be, but it's a very, very active legislative season, probably the most in recent memory.
Yeah, there has been, I don't know if anybody is following the bills that have been introduced, and back to Brooks' comment from the governor's State of the State, he kind of drew the line in the sand that he wasn't going to sign a budget this year unless there was something substantial on education reform. We'll see if the legislature calls his bluff or not. But there's also the president of the Senate has introduced a bill that would basically make for 2 years, put a cap on what your spending could be. There's already some pushback coming from Chittenden County there. There's some other stuff that would require additional classes. There's been one bill introduced that would require classes on anti-Semitism to be taught. and a few other things, so we'll see whether any of that gains any traction. I would think that they would have the whole education reform piece would take up the bulk of their time, but they don't really seem to be diving into it as fast as I thought they were going to. I know that Ways and Means was looking earlier at the end of last week, looking for ideas of new taxes to make up for lost federal funds. So.
Well, keep an eye on your, VSBA sends us like updates too.
Excuse me, the governor has been talking about flattening teacher salaries. And I don't know how that's going to go over with teachers that have sort of put in their time, taken all kinds of classes, gotten their master's degrees. I don't know how that's all going to work out. I mean, the NEA has already been opposing this plan anyway, or pretty much all the versions of it. That'll give them one more piece of ammunition, I would say.
And if anybody's looking for direct conversation about it, on February 2nd, from 6 to 7:30, we're hosting a community meeting with our legislators. It looks like majority will be there at this point, right? 3 of them at least, and one remote.
Yes, at least 3 of them have committed to being there. And then we're also working on, Senator Hardy had asked for a meeting too in Orwell, maybe town meeting week. So I am working on that today. So yes, hopefully we'll have lots of
6 to 7:30.
It's in your email.
Yep, 6 to 7:30 at the high school.
It's in lieu of our CAC meeting.
And February
2nd, which is a Monday.
Monday night. Yep.
Question?
Yeah.
So you said Ruth Harding is requesting the 8 meeting. Have any of the other legislators representing Orwell responded?
No,
That's
we have
disappointing
difficulty
since They
sometimes.
have not attended any of them.
Correct. We, Senator Hardy is typically the only one I ever think of,
Okay, thank you.
and she's very
Just wanted to
responsive.
make sure that was on the record.
Yep.
Senator Colmore?
Senator Collimore can't make it. Senator Weeks will
Williams.
be there.
Williams remote.
Williams remote. Representative Harvey will be there. I haven't heard from Bill Canfield, but typically he's there.
Okay. All right. All right, any other Act 73 discussion or thoughts? All right, open board seat discussion. So it looks like we still have 3 West Haven. We don't know anybody running.
Not that I'm aware of.
Orwell.
As
Orwell.
of Monday, no one has picked up a
Petition. And also
Hubbard.
Hubbardton. Nobody's picked up a petition, I don't think.
That we're aware of.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Lisa checks frequently.
So that's 5 openings on an 18-member board. If my math serves me well, that's 18 minus 5 is 13. And a quorum for us is 10. How do you not laugh, right? A quorum for us is 10. So just kind of putting that out there that we're gonna have to be really careful about missing meetings.
So Julia, I have a question for the whole board basically, but would it be acceptable if there were an individual who was interested in running, particularly like from West Haven, where we haven't had representation in 3 years now from that town, if a person could be online?
Only
Like all the
online?
time, like that would be their sole ability to attend the meeting because of personal issues.
Right,
But, you know, again, we
Yeah.
haven't had representation with 3 openings in
Right.
3 years. So
Right.
would that be a possibility?
It's not against our policy.
Correct.
So
There's nothing that says that they can't do that. I mean,
How do others feel about that?
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's difficult because you don't get to really know somebody.
The one person
but-
we're talking about is someone that I know. Her husband works second shift. She works days in the psych unit at Rutland Hospital. And they have one little boy and he attends Benson. And she has no family backup in the area to be able to babysit. And, babysitters are kind of far and few in West Haven. So she would really love to do it, but she can't.
Right.
She can't commit because she can't say she'll always have it.
Right. Yeah, always have somebody. Yep. Like Brooke said, it's not against our
Okay.
policy.
right,
All
it's
right,
not
we're
against
gonna-
anything, but.
We're gonna reach out to her.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
So, yeah, no problem. Any other, just wanted to kind of put that out there for open board seats, but I think that's where we stand right now. Okay. Committee reports, you know what wasn't on here? Executive committee. Nope. Oops.
it can be on there.
Well, no, I just wanted to, because it's wanted to,
Oh.
right? Do everything. What did we say, February?
No, I thought you said February.
Okay, so we'll do it next time.
I think you're all right.
Do that under agenda then.
Yeah.
All right, so committee reports, finance.
So the Finance Committee met tonight. We discussed a continuation of the boiler interconnect project that's ongoing at the high school and getting the whole heating system back up and running the way it should. They had put the project out to bid, and Chris may have better answers, but they actually received 4 bids for the project, which is something we usually don't get that many bids lately for projects. One was a real outlier. So they have selected a company to go forward with, but they're looking for the board to approve the use of $200,000 from the capital reserve fund for this project to continue. So that's one thing that the whole board needs to act on. So if there's any questions for Chris before we move forward with a vote.
I'll move the question.
Second?
Second. You said
Okay.
second. Somebody say second.
Any other discussion from the board?
Just to add, this is the long-term project we've been working on since we started construction in the library before we brought the middle school on board. So that was really the start of the project. Geez, what was that, 5, 6, 7 years ago now? And we'll continue. We're doing a chunk of it as we can. This is the next step of the process. And then I talked to Peter and John and other members of the Building and Grants Committee. We'll start getting ready for the next step of the process. So it's going to be multi-years. We're probably still another 3 or 4 years at least for this project. And they get more expensive as we go to the next step. So we're trying to juggle what we have in the reserve fund and tackle as much as we can. As Brooke said in the finance committee, the next steps in this project do get expensive because we're talking retrofitting all the classrooms, transitioning from steam heating to hot water heating. So that gets going to be an expensive project. So this gets us to that next step in the project.
Okay. So I guess all those in favor of approving the use of these reserve funds, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, thank you. And then we went over the 4th draft of the fiscal year 27 expenditure budget. There have been a few little tweaks since the last presentation. There had been 2 employees who were looking to, due to personal changes, looking to get on the health insurance that were not on it previously. So that's going to add some expense to the budget. There was a little tweaking again of our student numbers, but we have come up with a budget that I think we're looking to approve tonight, correct, Brooke?
Yes. We would approve the budget tonight and then the warning at the meeting on the 26th. Walt, I don't know if you can just go to the page with the budget numbers on it. I think it's
Third to the last or something like that. That one.
Oh, that's the one.
Perfect.
So we're looking at a total expenditure budget of $32,508,789, which is a 2.8% increase from fiscal year 26 budget. As a note, inflation right now is at 2.7%. This gives us a per student cost of $11,967.71, which is a 3.48% increase. And that just shows you how much the loss of a couple of students can increase your cost per student and the way they calculate that. And unfortunately, it's the 3.48% increase that will be in the warning and on the budget, not the 2.8%. That's mandated by statute.
budget that was approved last year was 3.61% on the warning.
So, are there any questions out there? A formal budget, the formal presentation will be made at a later meeting with the whole slideshow, because there could be, if we approve the budget tonight, we can't change that number, those numbers, but there's some things that could change before the budget vote that may alter tax rates slightly based upon student number counts, things like that. So I would be looking for a motion to approve the budget as reflected there.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? Questions? I guess not hearing any. All those in favor of approving this budget amount, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
All right, so that will be what that screen says will be what people will see for town meeting. All right.
And I think just a reminder too, I think it's worth saying that our annual meeting is Thursday, February 19th this year, because vacation week in the school districts has moved. So it's February 19th. It's not our typical Monday after vacation. So because our February break is 1 week later. But all of that information will be going out. I just want to make sure folks have the heads up.
All right.
And we looked at the warning, and that will be up for approval at our next meeting on the 26th.
Right. Yep.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Public comment number 2. Anyone? Yeah, go ahead. Good try, Rosie.
I'm sorry if I'm being ignorant about this, but What exactly is the difference between steam and hot water heating?
One is heating with steam and
So, but wait, when you're talking about the registers, you know the old fashioned registers, wasn't
It's
that
similar-
steam?
similar
Steam.
technology. Well,
Yeah.
one uses steam and one uses just hot water.
So why can't we just use the same piping and stuff?
Because it's all corroded and falling apart. It will never be able to take the water. There's
Okay.
steam leaks everywhere.
So
Got it.
we're going from the registers to like baseboard heating, is that?
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't understanding.
Yeah, if we could do that, ideally, yes, we would just switch from steam to hot water, but there'll be leaks everywhere. Some of the steam lines are from 1964. They're not new at all.
That means they're 61.
Especially the main portion
Oh,
of
my
the building,
goodness.
the first and second floor, they're all old.
And incredibly inefficient.
Julie?
Good question.
There was
Yeah,
something I wanted to say when we were talking about the budget.
Yep.
I just wanted to acknowledge, we had a music teacher who was very concerned about this position that was cut. She made a very thoughtful presentation. I asked Brooke if she could look into it more and really take a look at it. And Brooke took a deep dive into it, gave us a really good printout of what it involved. And I'm glad we did that.
I think it's really important in this scenario right now in our state that we do that for everything that we eliminate or add, right? That there's a deep dive into it. So we're not just doing it to do it, right? I think that's really important. So yes, thank you, Kurt. I agree. All right, any other public comment? Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, I asked this in the finance meeting, but I want to just ask it again. Mention has been made of the $2.7 million of federal funding that's a question right now, and the money is in the budget today. If that money does not come through, taxpayers are going to approve a budget that assumes that $2.7 million is there. If that doesn't come through, what happens? What's plan B?
So, first of all, I don't think we would lose all of the 2.7 million, and we've made some,
I'm sorry, Joe, did you say the 2.7 is in the budget that the voters are voting on?
No,
That's my understanding.
well,
no.
it's not,
there is, it's, the budget is written with the assumption that we're going to get it.
Well,
That's what he means.
right,
You're approving a budget that has
No,
$2.7
That's that revenue.
No.
you are not.
revenue, that's
Revenue.
revenue.
Anticipated revenue.
Yes.
We approved an expenditure budget. So we
No.
will not have the 2.7 million in revenue if it doesn't come in.
Okay, now I'm confused.
You're not voting on the federal, the $2.7 million.
But isn't the 2.7, isn't the budget based on assuming that you receive the 2.7 million?
Yes,
Yes, right?
so it's not, but it's not
But you're not
incorporated.
it's not
into
incorporated.
the 32 million.
Right, correct.
I think
He wants to know what happens if we
What
don't
would
get
we
the
do
2.7 million.
instead of that $2.7 million revenue?
Yes.
I think that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so-
Two different questions. If you're asking what you're voting on, this money is not incorporated in that dollar amount that you're voting on.
Correct.
You're voting on an expenditure budget, that money would be included in the revenue.
Because
But
it's not money you have.
it still means we won't receive the $2.7 million, and that impacts positions, and it certainly impacts students. So we would have to come back to the table and have some really hard discussions. Where can we cut in order to preserve some of those positions? And, you know, what positions are we going to have to do without? So it's definitely is going to cause some angst if we don't receive the money. Who knows, but I don't think there's a scenario where we don't receive some of the 2.7 million. I think Casey and Cheryl have done a great job with budgeting for a contingency this year with some carry forward funds and federal funding. However, the Washington is talking about a potential clawback of those funds, so that is a concern. The problem is we don't know until well after our budget usually passes if we're going to get that or not. But we'd have to look at other areas that aren't essential. It's kind of where we are. The other thing is, I know the legislature is going to be talking about the potential loss of federal funding and seeing how they can shore up different areas of the state who are relying on that federal funding, schools being one of them. So there could be a state solution. Again, don't know.
But my point is, you're asking voters to approve a budget that could require a relook at the revenue budget if the $2.7 million isn't forthcoming? Am I not understanding that correctly?
No.
Voters only approve the expenditure budget.
Okay.
So we would have to live within our means of the
Yeah.
expenditure budget regardless.
Right. That those positions, those people, you wouldn't have that revenue. So you're voting on an expenditure budget, so you'd be stuck with that amount.
The 32
To work.
million, so we might have to look at areas like supplies, like building and grounds, like other areas to take money from to pool resources. So we might have to reallocate that $32 million to help support making up that shortfall. We really, really don't want to be in that situation and hope that that doesn't come to pass, and certainly are doing everything we can to advocate so that doesn't come to pass. But we live in uncertain times. And so I think it's in the back of our heads.
And I think it's also important to point out, the whole 2.7 million doesn't go to Casey for intervention
Right.
programs. I mean, 821,000 of it is our child nutrition programs, and it's reimbursements for child nutrition programs. Another, a little over $500,000 is IDEAB programs. I don't think there's a concern about those at this point. It's the title programs that we're talking about. Our Title I grant, so I'm reading off from our audit report for FY25. In FY25, it was $926,000. So, the whole amount is 2.7, but not all of it goes to support the intervention programs. So, and not all of it is a concern. It's really the title programs that are of a concern.
Thank you.
He did, I think he was going to explain it.
I think you're good.
Any other public comment? Nope. All right, I need a motion for an executive session for personnel, please, with,
Ben, Jen, and myself, and we can just, it shouldn't be terribly long. Maybe we can just go in the conference room.
and stand in there and then come
Yes,
back out.
and come
instead of
back
kicking
out.
Everybody out, all right.
Yeah, because it's.
So can I have a motion, please,
So
for an
moved.
executive session?
Second.
All right, so we got Peter and
Got it.
Okay.